Welcome everybody to episode 6 of
Those are journals.
Giggles with Squiggles.
Yes.
Yay. It's the end of the school year. It's almost summer.
Woo, 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 woo.
We barely
Party.
party.
Hey, Will. Slugbug Blue. Right there. Okay, actually, I did want to talk about something. If you could be in a show, any show that already exists, what show would you be in and who would you play and why?
I would say The Good Place. It's very funny.
You can't just do it because you like it. It has to be somewhere you fit in, Will.
I would say I fit in.
Okay.
I'm chaotic enough. I could go to heaven or hell or whatever's happening there.
Well, you're going. You know you're going.
There are plenty of redheads in heaven. Where do you think the rainbow goes?
Down to hell.
Down to hell?
It goes up from hell and back down to hell.
Well, where does it hit the pot of gold?
In hell.
The pot of gold is in hell?
It goes down.
That's a bad theory. It is not in hell.
When you see a rainbow, it goes like this. Whew. It goes down. What else is down, Will?
My pot of gold?
Also known as hell. Because, okay, so I think I would want to be in that 70s show just because, like, they're all teenagers, growing up, living a life. I think I'd fit in well. Also, I want to live in a different generation than mine so I can wear 90s clothes.
Mm.
Like, or I guess 70s clothes. Because, like, 70s are cool.
Mm. I think I would kill it in The Office.
Well, I think that you
I would be Dwight.
D. Eisenhower? I hear he's dead.
Or Jim.
I think you would be Killer Pam.
Killer Pam?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could be Pam. I can't plan parties.
Party. No, but I can.
You can? Can we be Co-Pam?
We can be Co-Pam. I think I would be okay with that. Co-Pam?
Co-Pam.
Cool. There's also, like what dystopian movie would you choose to be in?
Ooh.
The one I would definitely not choose to be in is the first movie of Divergent is good. The rest of the Divergent series is bad.
I'm gonna say...
Do you have Drake's number by chance?
No. Yeah. I'm gonna say Minority Report. Yeah. It's good.
I've never heard of it.
It's...
Let's talk about bad dystopians, because I feel like those are hard to come across. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like any dystopian is good, except for there are a few that I just haven't liked.
Well, Terminator was really good.
Terminator, is that dystopian? Or is that just like...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen the Terminator. You know what a bad dystopian is, though, that you should not watch? It's called The Uglies. And it's basically like the POV, like the POV trend, but like movie. Okay. So it's like, you're like convinced that you're ugly and you have to live in this place until you turn 18, and then you get to pick how you look, and they like give you an iPad and you design however you want to look. And then when you're 18, they make you look like that, and then you go and you live in this like party city world with all the other people that look like that, and you can only live there if you're pretty.
I saw an ASMR video that was kind of like that.
Yeah, those are called POVs.
Yeah. She had this little thing, and then she showed it to the camera, and she was like, "Do you want these lips? Okay." And then she had this little colored pencil that she pretended was a 3D printing pen. Yeah.
Anyways, it's very bad because it's too POV. It's bad. You know what? Come for me in that. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't know if at least I do not know what this movie is. A good dystopian movie, Mad Max.
I've never seen it.
Fury Road. It's very good.
Another good dystopian movie, Maze Runner.
Ooh, it has a bowl on the tab. Cool. I haven't seen Maze Runner either. I've seen part of Blade Runner.
We can all talk about.
Good.
Can we talk about? You know what movie makes me the mostest pissedest in the world? It. Because, okay, don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. But why? Okay, anything where kids decide that the fate of the world is in their hands is when they start getting killed. Call the cops and books and stuff that we've read that like the characters are just doing things that piss us
Hey,
off.
it's not that carbonated anymore. Oh yeah.
Start. So I'm reading this book. I'm gonna tell you about this book I'm reading. I'm
Okay.
almost done. I only have like 50 pages left. I plan on finishing it after one of my finals today. Um, basically, there's this main character. Her name is Marley, and her friends, or her boyfriend's name is Atlas. They've been dating for years. Her best friend's name is Luce, and her Luce's boyfriend is named Jazz. And they go to this school where there's this guy, Rhett Wilder, and he's like very like he's such like a popular guy, but he's living off of daddy's money, so anything he does, he doesn't really get in trouble for. And him and his brothers organize the same thing every senior year, where they send out dares. They're like senior pranks, but like they go way too far. Like it isn't like misdemeanor crimes. Like sometimes there's like felonies, and if you don't participate, then Rhett will find some dirt about you and link it. Or if he can't find anything, he's gonna make something up, and he's gonna tell everyone. And one time he got this girl expelled because he spread a rumor that he was having an affair with his teacher or something like that.
That's not good.
So they're all like really scared to not do the dares and stuff like that. And
Right.
one time they get a dare that they have to drive without their headlights on in the dark at like this really dangerous road.
It's hella dangerous.
And they go and they do that, and they accidentally run over and kill an old man who is very kind of like popular in the town because he's very reclusive and doesn't talk to anyone, right?
Okay.
And they kill him on accident. And it was the four of them in the car, and they were like, "Well, crap." And Marley was all like, "We should call the cops." And I was like, "Yes, Marley, do the right thing. Thank you for mentioning the cops. Thank you, because it was an accident. You could blame this on Rhett and get out of there." You know what I'm saying? They didn't do that because Marley was like, "Let's go to the cops," and all of her friends automatically went, "No, we're just gonna hide the body." And Marley was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys? You guys are horrible people. We need to call the cops." And I was like, "Yes, Marley, yes, tell them off." And then they were like, "Marley, this is gonna ruin our shot at college." And she was like, "You killed the man. You ruined his shot at life." And they were all like, nah, we're just gonna call it. They looked scared. They were like terrified the first time and stuff like that. And then she agreed. You gotta call the cops. And then after like they just didn't call the cops, hid the body, buried the body. They got paranoid about the body, so they dug up the body and threw it in the river. Okay. And her friends aren't acting like anything happened. Like they're supposed to act normal and natural to be like, "Oh, nothing happened. Like we didn't do anything," right? And Marley's doing a good job of it, but she doesn't want to act like nothing happened when she's just alone with her friends because everyone knows. So she wants to be able to confide in them, but even her friends are just acting way too normal about it, like way too normal. And like she's just like, "You guys are being very good people." And then it turns out, okay, so after they find the body and stuff like that, like the cops and stuff, they don't know actually what happened yet. So they haven't been discovered quite yet. But the three friends are afraid that Marley's gonna break and crack. So they're starting to place evidence around to make it look like it was just Marley that did it. Right? Horrible. And she doesn't know what to do. And so she goes to Rhett. By the way, they are enemies. They hate each other. Okay? And she goes to Rhett and she tells him everything. She's like, "Yeah, we killed this man from your stupid dare that you gave us." And then he kissed her.
And she went with it?
She didn't pull away. Now, she didn't express that she liked him back, but she didn't pull away. I'm expecting that to turn into something. Oh yeah, so Arthur, which is the name of the old man that they killed, has a grandson. And that grandson, his name is George. He's only a year older than Marley. And they thought that he was the one that was sending messages and stuff to like kind of scare them, like because there was somebody sending Marley messages that made them think that, "Oh, I know what's going on, I know what you did," stuff like that. Hold on, it's Max McKibben. You can't see me. Oh man. Okay. Right. So they thought it was George. So Jess decides to take it into his own hands and go burn down that house that George was in while he was in it. And George ends up in the hospital. Okay. And they're all like, "Well, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?" And then Rhett's girlfriend Ruthie. Well, they're not dating. He says that they're not official or whatever. Turns up dead. Okay. And they were like, "What the flip is going on?" And that's all I've read. Isn't that insane?
It is. There was a really good twist at the end of my book.
Do tell. He finished Kill Creek, everybody.
Can I spoil it?
I'm not gonna read it.
Oh, okay. So they go to the house on Kill Creek, right? It's hella haunted. They get like a poltergeist or something that follows them around. They go back to their houses. They're all writers, right? They like gathered for like a horror,
I'm God.
like a horror podcast in the house.
Podcast.
So they all gathered there, and then they all went their separate ways. But when they got back to their houses, they all started writing the exact same book. And
On accident
I mean, technically,
or on
but
Vorbis?
well, they were like writing the same plot, doing everything, and they didn't know they were doing all the same stuff. They just happened to be doing it. They go back to their house. They're all writing the same story, and then they all stop writing the same story at the exact same point. We learn later that they only stopped at the exact same point because this other writer that was there, the super old dude named Sebastian Cole, he's like been a horror writer for a while. He's like an idol for all the other writers. He was also writing like the exact same story, but he got to this point in the story first and like kept going with it. So that at the house there's like a third floor,
Okay.
and it's all like bricked up and walled up. And there were these two sisters that lived there, Rebecca and Rachel Finch, and they were like hell haunted. Rebecca was in a wheelchair. They were like
You know what they say about wheelchairs?
Hmm.
They haunted as fuck.
haunted as fuck. So there's a third floor. It's all walled up. Now in Sebastian Cole's book, all their books are about the house, by the way.
Okay.
So in Sebastian Cole's book, they get to the house, they go up to the third floor, and they start breaking down the wall, and like they actually do it. Like they actually break down the wall and get past it. Um, and in his book, they like all die at the end, and it's not good, and the house wins.
Sounds like a little shop to me.
Mm-hmm. But in the other people's books, since he got there first, they all stopped at like the first brick broke free in the wall. So like they couldn't get out. This isn't really infuriating. I just want to talk about the twist. So anyway, they all want to go back to the house to figure out what's behind that wall. So they all go back, and once they're there, they like have gasoline cans because they're gonna burn it down. Once they figure out what's behind it, so they go in, they start chipping at the wall, right? So this one guy, Daniel Slaughter, he
Is that foreshadowing?
maybe
Ah!
so this guy, he was like really fat, but then his daughter got killed in a car accident right after Kill Creek, and now he's like super thin. And he hasn't eaten in a while, and he's not in a good mental state. Um, so he's like he like goes down to the first floor just to hang out, and the elevator that goes up to the third floor opened and let him go in, even though the power was off. The elevator functioned
How polite.
and took him up to the top floor,
My hair's crazy.
where I don't think it's crazy. It looks fine. Where the brick wall on the elevator like tumbled down really easily, and he was able to go into the third floor. It was like all neatly kept, no dust anywhere.
Yeah.
There was like full furnishment and
Yeah.
everything, and there were pictures. And he found like he saw a like apparition of his daughter there, of his dead daughter there, and she told him that he had to kill everybody so she could go back home with him.
Right.
Very manipulative by the ghost. So he does it, obviously. He gets like a hatchet from up there from some owner in the 1800s.
Right.
And he takes the hatchet, goes downstairs, and goes outside because he sees like Claire walking outside. That's the daughter. So he's trying to follow her. And he sees one of the the guy that got them all together for the podcast the first time. He's Wainwright. He's like the podcast producer. He sees him walking in the forest and brutally murders him. Just chops his face in two, scalps him.
Oh,
It's pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to put a trigger warning on this video now.
We can cut that part out. He kills him. Okay.
Him.
And then he goes back inside. They continue breaking down the wall and like actually make progress, but not a lot. Moore, who's one of the writers, she's worried that this guy, like Daniel's gone, Wainwright's gone. She's worried about that. So she goes down to the first floor to like find them, right? So she goes like she hears screams from the basement from who she thinks is Wainwright. So she goes down there, and there's like a bunch of corpses down there that like I think they're ghost corpses. They're not real, but they're just like
Yeah, thanks.
they're just clawing at her, and she's remembering her abusive past with a terrible boyfriend, and it's bad. And then Daniel comes down there, and like while she's trying to run away from the corpses, he like chops at her ankle and breaks it and like makes it bleed a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's all limping and everything, and she's trying to get up the stairs, but she only has one good leg. And then she like goes back down for something. I forgot. She might have been trying to get away from him down there. But then he comes up and chops her in the stomach,
Right.
like all inner intestines and everything. And then that's where we leave off with her. Like
Okay.
she's
Bye-bye, she says. Bye-bye.
yeah, she's like bleeding out, right?
She's bleeding out, right? And when I tell you.
Okay. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. There's this whole like chase thing. Sam, who's like the main character and one of the writers, he breaks through the wall, goes into the third floor bedroom. Nothing there except the wheelchair. But Daniel's chasing him at this point. He just killed Sebastian Cole. And like Daniel just killed Sebastian Cole. Sam is trying to get into the third floor bedroom. He does. He escapes from Daniel. It's raining outside. Whatever. A big chase ensues. Right. He gets into a crawl space and then goes like the crawl space leads into the basement. And he goes into the basement where it's like completely flooded. There's black sludge everywhere. It's disgusting. But that's where Moore was. So he like wades around, finds the stairs, and then finds Moore on the stairs. Right. And then he rescues her. She's like somehow alive, brings her to the top floor, and they escape, burn down the house. So later, we find out that like they recover and everything. Hey, it's Lizzie and Kennedy. They recover and everything, and like they go back to the house. They don't publish their book. So it basically in the epilogue we find out that the person he rescued was not Moore, and it might have been Moore. It was like Moore's corpse possessed by a ghost because when she was abused by her boyfriend, he like ruptured her pupil, and that was a big character thing for her that her pupil was all messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But on another podcast, actually, they were like talking about what happened, talking about Sebastian Cole with this one guy, and he looked in her eyes, and the pupil was intact.
Weird.
So she did die at Kill Creek, and she's like possessed now.
Well, that's interesting. It's a good story right there, Will Boyd. You know what he reads?
Mm.
One time I was on the phone with him and he was telling me how he was reading something about women's rights.
Oh.
I was like, 6'5", we're reading about a book about women's rights. Because he is like 6'5".
Mm.
And that's what it felt like to me during the moment that he was trying to do. It was like, he's trying yeah, I'm just reading a book about women's rights. My bookshelf is so tall because I'm 6'5", and that's where I can only reach it.
Eli sent me an interesting TikTok last night. It was of this girl, and she was like, "My boyfriend keeps saying he's on his period."
That's just what the sassy when the guys decide to be sassy.
Yeah, the guy was just being a white
I'm gonna
bitch.
go up to Lizzie's car and get her to say hi into the mic. I'll be right back. Say hi to the podcast, ladies. No, don't yell.
Guys, my nuts froze. Happy
Wait,
finals!
Where's
In the car.
Wait, do you?
It's filming right now.
Here's my coffee that I was supposed to have for free, and I didn't get it for free because they chipped me out of my point. Okay, we're gonna go close off the pod. I don't drink caffeine, Lizzie. Okay. Say what you gotta say.
Happy finals week, everyone! I love you.
Yes. Okay. So that was episode 6. Pretty chaotic. Might be boring. We'll see how you edit it. So yeah, we had fun. It's been a good morning. We're gonna have a good day,
And we're gonna get through finals.
and we're gonna get through.
And the next time you see us, we're gonna be juniors. Roll down the window. Hop on in here.
Where's the camera?
Here.
Hi.
This is Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby. Okay, bye.
Well, we'll see you when we're juniors, I guess.
apparently.
Bye.
Bye.